Okay, we're going to get started. Thank you for joining us today. Last night was a momentous meeting that was held by our City Council, and to talk about the meeting and the actions taken at that meeting is Cupertino Mayor Orrin Mahoney.
Well, good morning, and we did wrap up relatively early last night, so I actually did get a reasonable night's sleep. So as a 44-year resident of the City of Cupertino and somebody that worked over 20 years on the very site that we were discussing last night, it's particularly meaningful for me to be here this morning to celebrate really the culmination of a very long and great relationship between Apple and the City of Cupertino. It was about 2 years ago that Steve Jobs came into this very chamber and gave us the first glimpse of what this building would look like, the commitment that Apple was ready to make to the City of Cupertino and to the Silicon Valley in general, and you know, to start us on that journey that culminated in that decision we made last night to turn that dream into real reality on both sides. It is a very special relationship. You could tell that when Steve spoke. You know, everybody talks about the financial parts of this, but there's an emotional connection, I think, on both sides. I think you heard that. Anybody that was here last night that heard the people from the audience speak about the importance of Apple Computer, not just from a financial point of view, which is a very important point of view, but beyond that, you know, the employees that are here, the vibrancy that it lends to the City of Cupertino, the name recognition that we have all around the world because of Apple's headquarters being here. It's a very special building. It's a very special company. Cupertino is a very special place, not just for Apple. As you heard last night, we're known all over the world for our schools, for our quality of life, and this will let us continue to build on that and move forward in the future. So it was a great event last night, great turnout from the people that have been supporting this all along. You know, I just have to reiterate that from that day when Steve came in here, our staff has worked night and day on this project to bring us to the place that we are today, and I want to congratulate everybody on the staff. And I also want to congratulate my fellow City Council members. Gilbert Wong, our Vice Mayor, is here today. Rod Sinks is here today, even though, as you know from last night, he couldn't participate in the final discussion, and then two of my other fellow council members couldn't be here this morning. But again, Barry, I'm sorry, Barry, you came in late. Barry Chang is here as well. You know, one of the great things, again, about the City of Cupertino is that your City Council has always worked together to do the best things for the City of Cupertino. And in this case, it's really beyond the City of Cupertino. It really does spread into the entire Silicon Valley. The impact goes way beyond the city. You know, we've got our city hats on, but it was great last night. My fellow mayor from the city of Sunnyvale came in to support this project as well, because we know this is way beyond a City of Cupertino issue. So with that, I'd like to thank Apple for all the work that they've done in working together with the city throughout this whole process. And I'd like to bring a representative from Apple up here, Peter Oppenheimer, their CFO, to give you their view of where we are.
Thank you very much. This is a very special moment for us at Apple. We have put a tremendous amount of love and energy into this campus, and we can't wait to get started building it. Cupertino is Apple's home. We love Cupertino. We're very proud to be here, and we're thrilled that Apple Campus 2 will be a part of Cupertino. We're going to build the best office building ever built in the world, and we're going to put it in a 100-acre park, returning the site to its natural beauty. It will be a place for the best team in the industry to innovate for decades to come. We're very grateful to the City Council, to the city staff, and most importantly, our neighbors and the citizens of Cupertino and the surrounding communities who supported us last night and along the way to get to this point. Thank you very much. Yes.
Do you anticipate that occupancy of Apple Campus 2 will satisfy Apple's growth needs going forward and perhaps pull you back in from some of your submarkets where you're further out?
Well, we can't wait to get our people closer together. We're a very collaborative company. One of the beauties of Apple Campus 2 will be that it will be walkable, and it will be great for us to continue to innovate in for decades to come. So we'll be a big part of Cupertino. We're continuing to grow. We're continuing to invest. And in a little over 3 years, when we occupy the new campus, we'll see where we are in terms of total space needs.
You still need additional space beyond Apple Campus 2.
We will continue to occupy our current campus just down the street and many other buildings in Cupertino, and we'll see what our needs are beyond that in 3 years.
What were some of the issues you have to battle to get to this point in terms of getting this done?
We worked very collaboratively with the city staff, with the council, with many groups across Cupertino and the surrounding community. And I think you heard that last night. So I don't think we had issues that we had to get through. We wanted to seek input from all the constituents. We listened. I think you heard that last night. And the culmination is a project that everybody in the community is thrilled about and can't wait for us to get started on.
Can you talk about the design of the building and what it provides and a little bit about that?
Be happy to.
Thank you.
The design of the building will be the most environmental friendly building of its size we think has ever been built and may ever be built. Beginning with energy, we are going to make over 70% of the electricity that Apple Campus 2 will use on site through solar and fuel cells, and we will get the remaining energy that we need in California through green sources. So there won't be one atom of carbon that is emitted into the environment as a result of our operating Apple Campus 2. We're going to be very, very efficient with water in our landscaping, and we're returning a 175-acre site to its natural state with native plants, trees, and other vegetation that will be great for the environment.
Mr. Oppenheimer, do you think about an exit strategy for a building that's this different from anything else that's ever been built before?
What do you mean by an exit? I don't follow an exit strategy.
Perhaps, in a future use, could it have a future perhaps after Apple? Do you think about stuff like that? Could it be subdivided? Could it be?
Well, Apple is going to exist long beyond me, but we are building Apple Campus 2 for, again, the greatest team in the industry to innovate for decades to come. And so I don't see a day when Apple won't be fully occupying Apple Campus 2.
Silicon Valley, that very expensive facilities projects come right before hard times for a company. Companies like Borland, SGI, and Sun. Why is Apple different?
We have the best team in the industry. We are very excited about what we have in our future product pipeline, and we think we're going to surprise and delight our customers.
What do you think Steve Jobs would be thinking today as we're standing here about all this? What would be crossing his mind?
I think Steve would be very, very proud today. Steve loved Apple, and he started Apple in Cupertino. And as he said at this podium 2 years ago when he presented the vision of Apple Campus 2, he wanted it to be in Cupertino. So all of us at Apple are putting tremendous energy and love into this campus, just as he did. We are humbled by the task of completing it and his vision and his legacy for the campus and Apple.
Mr. Oppenheimer, what would you tell a shareholder about the return on investment for spending this much money on something like this?
The innovation that I believe that will come from the team, particularly in the collaborative environment that we're going to build, will be immeasurable.
How does that happen? Can you bit about the way the collaboration happens in a space like this versus
Sure.
one infinite?
We have built the building to be very walkable. You might begin your day in one part of the building, and as the day progresses, you might find yourself in another part of the building working with other teams. And it's very open. People will be able to free very easily around the building and through the park. And again, we're a very collaborative culture, and spontaneous conversations are really important to what we do. And this building will really foster that.
So when do we see the groundbreaking?
We hope very soon, before the end of the calendar year. With the city's support, we'd love to have the reading perhaps moved up from November 19th and allow us to get started even sooner.
How much will it cost?
We're going to spend the right amount of money on this. We're going to balance being good fiduciaries to our shareholders, but again, building a campus that will allow the most creative team in the industry to innovate for decades to come.
Have you been working to control costs?
We think thoughtfully about cost at Apple, whether it's in a facility, whether it's in anything we do, including our products. And we always strike the right balance. And quality, of course, and the user experience is forefront in our mind.
No other questions? All right, I'll just say closing. Okay. So again, thanks for all the community support. Thanks for everybody here. I do think it's interesting. You know, Apple's not alone in this concept of the importance of personal contact. You know, all of the large Silicon Valley companies are working on campuses to bring their people together. I think it's very important, and the intellectual capital is what makes Apple successful, is what makes this valley successful, and to keep it here and keep people talking together, whether we're talking as a community or talking as a business, is very important. So again, thanks for everything, and we're looking forward to an early and great groundbreaking and an early and great occupancy. So thanks a lot again.